Hello and welcome to the Knock On KCLR and Scoreline.ie's weekly rugby podcast. Tom Crotty, James Blanchfield, Paddy Brown and myself, the whole team are back together today. How are you, men?
Good.
Everyone's happy. Tom Crotty's that bit happier this week. We have to congratulate him and Carlow, the Leinster League Division 1B champions, promoted to 1A, and celebrations all around Tom over the weekend. Nice one.
Absolutely. Couldn't have
well done, Tom. Well done, Carlow.
Paddy's weekend, couldn't ask for better.
Absolutely.
There was no scones baked. The people at Carlow had no scones or bread rolls on Monday morning, I'd say, Tom.
They got them all right. They were a bit late, but they got them.
Bit late, but they got them. That's brilliant.
Yeah, and they didn't burn anything either, so I was all right.
Jesus, that's it. That's what it's all about. Congratulations, Tom. A fantastic achievement, of course, and the celebrations up at the club, no doubt. And of course, a big year as well with your 150 and all that stuff as well. So, very, very nice thing to celebrate as well. So we'll start with you, Tom, and we'll have a chat about last weekend.
If I can remember last weekend, I have to figure out. I know. Look, I suppose, as I said in the podcast coming up to it, we knew this when we went to Kildare. We weren't going to get a nice welcome because, first of all, nobody wants to finish up their home game of the last home game of the loss, and also the fact that it would have been year 2 that the cup has been handed over. You know, especially 2 from the one county now, which is bad enough. But look, we went up. Lads were focused actually coming into it. I was like a bit of nerves, all right, but in fairness, the spirits were good going up. Quite a bit of confidence actually. You know, we knew that Kildare were never going to be easy, and they could easily turn us over. They beat us in Carlow, so it was hedgy going up. But got a good warm up, and the weather was crap coming up to it, and that kind of eased off. The rain eased off, and the wind died down a good bit. So, in fairness, it was probably one of the better days up in Kildare, weather-wise. And then, look, we started off, and they kicked it to us, and we made a couple of kind of errors, and then we were caught off guard. To be honest, it was totally our own fault. Kildare got in a quick try at the start, but look, the lads gathered themselves. They were very quickly in under the post to gather themselves, and I don't know what was said, but I think it was all calm. Dan said afterwards, you know, it was just a quick chat and saying, look, that's all right, forget about it. But just a bit of an iffy start, you know, nerves and so on. But then we got back up the field, and we hit back on straight away with a very good Dave McDermott try. They've got the ball and cut them right through and went straight in under the post, and Ben converted. Then it was pretty much we were on top. Another good move. A couple of minutes later, ball went out left, and then we did a quick flick back right. And Johnny Crosley scored another cracking try. So it seems to be the Johnny and Dave show at the moment I think they're try for try at the moment. But Johnny got a try and Ben got a lovely conversion from the touchline. So that kind of really had us in the driving seat. Kildare were still well, you know, they were well in the game at that stage. But you know, look, we belted up along, got back into their 22 again, and there was just a small bit of a gap, and young Ty Ronan just saw the gap and went through. And I think he pushed, just handed off 2 lads, and a complete gap opened up, and Ty scored under the post, and Ben converted it. So that was our 22-5. 22-5. Then they got a penalty, and it was just before half time, so it was 22-10 to us. Going in at half time, things were nice and calm. Good good speeches at half time. You know, just got the water on board, and just a nice calm speech of, you know, just to keep it ticking along. And then we came back in, got back into the game, worked down their half, and then Richie White got the first of his 2 drop goals, a phenomenal drop goal. Just you know, ball back and just slotted it through. So I put 28-10 up, and then Ty kind of turned for a while. Kildare came back into it with a couple of tries, and it was 28-22 there at one stage. And I can say I was definitely getting greyer and whiter by the minute on the sideline. And there was a lot of nerves, even though like we knew we just needed to turn it, but we had got yellow cards. We had got 2 yellow cards given to us, one for a high tackle, and then there was the second one, which Kildare got one as well for just a little bit of handbags in a corner, and the ref in fairness just gave them 2 yellows and sent them to the bin. But we had a penalty advantage, and Richie slotted another drop goal straight through the post, and that kind of gave us a bit of breathing space. We needed that. That was 31-22. So, and then to finish off, icing on the cake, young Conor Tracy just again. Things opened up. I think tired bodies, both sides were getting tired at that stage, but Kildare had done a lot of defending in about the last 10 minutes of the game, and a gap appeared, and Conor just went straight through and planted it in under the post, and Ben got the conversion. So final score then was 36-22. We did well all day. We struggled a bit in the scrums at times, and then we made a couple of changes from the bench. We brought on Larry McGrath and brought on Benny as well, which both of those would be 2 older experienced players, because we started with a young front row with Ty Gronin and young Paddy Rogers. Like, both of those are both under 22. So when the 2 boys come on, then kind of steadied up the scrum, which was a huge thing. But we did well in the lineouts. Our ball handling was very good. I think it just took the eye off the ball really for a while. I suppose it's very hard when you're kind of on a progression at half time, and all of a sudden then things start changing. You're not as focused, and we probably weren't as focused as we should have been coming out in the second half. But look, there's too many people to mention in performance wise. Like, from the bench made again huge difference. You know, coming in and settling things, especially like in the last 20 minutes of the game. But like from 1 to 20, I have to say super performances, and I have to say hats off to Dave Byrne and Joe Bulmer, the coaches, because they made all the right decisions at the right time. You know, it's very hard as coaches. Sometimes, you know, the sideline will be giving out why you do this or why you do that, but I think the general consensus was that the lads made the changes at the right time, and, you know, moved things around at the right time. And so I think a combined performance by the whole lot, coaches and all, on the day. But I really do have to say that Kildare are still a very, very good side. You know, that they probably haven't got the back line together as much as, you know, as the higher teams, but they have a phenomenal pack. Jeez, their pack are phenomenal. Absolutely. Jeez, anyone going up there, I don't care who you are, they're going to give you a battle. Their scrums are second to none. They're definitely the best scrum in the league by far. You know, we've scrummed against everybody, but they were absolutely phenomenal. Their scrum was absolutely super. But look, we're thrilled. That was our goal. I said last week our goal was to get to the playoff, and so the fact that a tie is the favour, and it's lucky we did win, because a tie got a good win over Dundalk at home. So if we had lost, the trophy would have gone the other direction, would have been put back in the boot of the car, and would have headed off to a tie. So look, we've had a phenomenal run into the last game, and I can't give anything but praise to everybody that helped out. You know, we wanted to get out of the league. You know, as I said, we've been kind of like James has been up there before. Paddy, you were there before. You know, you came back down, but you were there. We haven't been there since I think it's 2011. The last time we were in Division 1A. You know, that's a long time floating around. And I think we went up in, I think it was 2017 from 2A.
Yeah.
You know, so it's been a long process of just kind of going round and round and playing the same teams week in, week out, and you know, and you can't do that. Like somebody said to me earlier, like, which would you prefer? Like, what was the most important? If you had a Towns Cup in one hand, and it shouldn't be shot for saying it, but our league in the other, which would you take? You only had a choice of one, and being honest, I'd take the league, because from a club point of view, just to get out of that and out of that same rut, you can't. Like, players need a change, and players need to develop. The club the supporters need a change. You know, like I'm sure Paddy had said to agree that, like, when you have the Bectals and those coming down to your home ground, you know, you get a little bit more interest from local people just to come and look, because now you have new teams coming. Whereas, to be honest, like if we have LSL or the Bynes or anyone, you know, coming to home, there's not the same interest. Okay, you get it with Kilkenny, you know, or you get it with Athy because they're sort of local derbies. But if it's any of the other crew, the other teams, you don't get that same buzz if you're continually playing those teams. So look, we're absolutely delighted. And the seconds had a great win as well. The seconds played just the Blue Kildare out of the water up there. They were just phenomenal. So like, it's been a fantastic weekend, and we've had two nights and the next day of great celebrations. And I just want to publicly thank Chuck Donald for looking after the lads in the morning when they arrived in for breakfast, and they were very good to them. And Tully's later on, and also this is one of the team's main sponsors, the Irishmans. Like, they've been really good to us all. They've been really good to us in the last 2 years. And the lads were there for the afternoon, and it was great crack. And so just thanks to everyone that helped us a lot, you know, and just helped us celebrate. They're small things, but they mean an awful lot. So I'd just like to say thank you to those businesses just while we're on. And then now, that's it. Tuesday night came, as I said to Paddy and Stephen earlier, had a good blowout on Tuesday night. There was a lot of sick heads. And a lot of lads saying they'd never drink again, especially when they were doing 100-metre sprints up and down the pitch and so on, just trying to clear out the head. And look, they had a good training session. Towns Cup now, as I said, like, yes, to me the league was the most important, and everything from here on is a bonus. So we'll be giving a lash at the Towns Cup. Starts this weekend. We've Portlaoise at home, and I know that won't be easy, and people say, they're in lower division, but they won their division. They're on a high. They've a good young out half, a couple of good lads in the pack. So we won't take them for granted, because everybody knows that FA Cups, there's often big shocks when teams go out and they travel along and they're just playing a lower division, and they ticky-boo in thinking they're just going to walk through, and next minute there's a big upset, and we don't want that big upset coming. So the lads are focused. I said, we did actually have a good training session on Tuesday night. We'll have another one tonight, and we just get focused in now for Sunday. We're looking forward to getting back on the pitch again and getting the ball rolling. It's as I said, I can't say anything more. We're just thrilled to be in the position that we're in, and I have to thank all the supporters as well that have come all the season. We've had a really, really good support, so just huge thanks. I can't really say any more about anything. Like, I can't tell you what happened in the youth. I was so disorganised and focused, as you can imagine.
Say it, Tom. You're totally locked all week.
I do know. I think our under 14s, the under 14s or 15s had a good win. I know that. I saw it somewhere. So well done to the 15s. I don't think there was a whole lot more going on, but look, we'll just bang on. Looking forward to Towns Cup this week.
Good stuff. Tom, well done.
Well,
Nice one.
congratulations to everyone at Kilkenny, Tom. I think we're all happy down here to see that you won it. We can't begrudge it to you. I think if any club in the league is deserving of it, you've waited your time for it, We've had a couple of great battles over the last 2 or 3 years with you, and I think it's great to see you back up there where Carlow, realistically, Carlow rugby traditionally should be, in the top tier of Leinster junior rugby at minimum, So congrats to my cousin Richie White as well, and the other guys in the team, Larry McGrath, who I would have played against many times over the years. So it's great for you. So congratulations.
Yeah. Thanks a million.
Yeah, on behalf of Tullow, I'd like to join with that, James, that we're delighted to see our neighbours and great rivals coming up, and we'll be playing them again next year. As you said there, Tom, we experienced this last year, and it was it is probably better than the Cup. In the overall scheme of things, while the Cup is great on the day, but the division, the first 1A division is a great step up. And from a personal point of view, we are delighted to be playing you again, because, as I said the last day, the Tullow-Carlow rivalry brings the best out of both clubs, and 2 games there in the Carpe Diem Cup is always a great way of lifting the momentum in both clubs, So well done. Did your seconds win the league, Tom, or where did it come?
No, we were second, Paddy. Athy won the league. In fairness to them, I said, we were kind of swapping and changing play. With so many lads at the moment, we were swapping and changing players that probably weren't as consistent week in, week out with the same team. But Athy had a very consistent team there, and they deserved that seconds league.
They do. The other side of that is it must be tough on Athy, second year in a row but I'm not trying to be hard, but second year in a row where they've been in the shake-up in that league, and they, for want of a better way, but they blew it,
Yeah. Well, they were very hard. They have Ashburn, is it?
Yeah, I think so.
They have Ashburn now in the playoff, which won't be easy. Ashburn are masters of staying up. They said that the Paddy led. They're just one of those clubs that just, I don't know how they do it, but they just keep managing to cling on to that position.
Like the John Hurdlers down in Kilkenny.
Yeah.
They beat one of the Dublin clubs very well last week. They beat Bective, I think, well.
Yeah.
So they're coming at the right time.
Oh, 100%. And the only other thing is, if you're looking at shape-ups, if Monkstown have a semi-final. There's the next weekend of the round of the playoffs. If they win if they win that in the final, they'll go up to AIL 2C, and then Athy will be automatically promoted.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Correct.
So
very good.
We could have Athy yet.
Towns Cup this weekend, lads. Who wants to go first? Preview your game.
Well, I've done mine, so it's one of the two lads.
Yeah, well, I'll just briefly, if you don't mind, Stephen mentioned last weekend as well. There's not a whole lot to say. We had first and seconds and a lot of underage matches, and our ladies were out. But the first match was a dead rubber. Monkstown had won the league, and our lads were sure of fourth place, so neither team had anything to play for. And yet we played out a very entertaining, a very high-scoring game in Monkstown. To beat us 47-26. And we got within a bonus point of them at one stage, but they pulled away in the end. We did rest a few lads like Stephen Smith and Martin Cole, the big men who had played well all year, but they needed a bit of a break, go to the cup. Yet, and Sean O'Brien wasn't playing either. His partner Ellie gave birth to a new tank there the previous week, so we wish him all the best on that. But he wasn't available for that.
Paddy.
A baby tank, yeah, exactly. So that was great news in the O'Brien household. But we've lost the last 2 games, and it's you do lose a bit of momentum heading into the cup, and I'll just come back to the cup in a minute. But our seconds, on the other hand, have had a few great wins, and including last Sunday beating Monkstown 62-10 in Monkstown. So they're preparing well for the cup, and there's a lot of players available there. So we'll probably have a third cup team out as well in the Anderson Cup. So that end of things is going very well. The ladies played the first round of the Paul Flood Cup. and had a huge win over Mullingar, who they also beat a couple of weeks ago to clinch the league. So they won 57-10 in Mullingar. So they're looking well in the Paul Flood Cup. A lot of underage activity last week. The under-18 boys lost narrowly they're all league or cup quarterfinals in Leinster. The under-18 boys lost narrowly to a strong Eton Derry team 26-27. The under-16 boys had a huge win over Boyne 76-5. The under-15 boys had a big win over Athy 40-15. The under-14s lost to Athy 34-0, and the under-13s beat Kilkenny, James, 45-15, and they were all in quarterfinals. So mixed results there. On the girls' side, the Rhinos side, Tom, the under-16s beat Barnhall 40-15, and the under-14s lost 15-10 to Portlaoise. So mixed results there, and with a lot of positivity as well, a lot of activity, which is great. As you asked the question there about Sunday, Stephen, and as I said, we're facing into a tough enough match. Athy, as you said, have lost a little bit of momentum. We've Athy at home, a repeat of the second round last year, and I think that I don't know whether that'll be a factor in Athy's minds that we beat them well last year, but I'd be worried that we lost a bit of momentum for our last couple of matches, and Athy certainly are better than they were in the cup last year. And it remains to be seen whether the blip that James talked about that they suffered at the end of the league, whether that is in their heads on Sunday. But it should be a good tough match and tight match at home to Athy. On our seconds match last week, we had our New Zealander back. He played in the second, so he'll be in the mix. Aka, he'll be in the mix for Sunday. Maybe in the subs. He hasn't very much match practice, so it's all to play for. So as we said, the cup is always a big day out. So we're looking forward to Sunday. So that's the roundup of what happened in Tullow.
Kilkenny taking the trip up to North Kildare.
We had a big win against 41-7 against Longford, but it was a dead rubber match. Longford, it was very hard on the Longford lads probably to make the longest journey of the year down to us, knowing they were getting relegated for the last game. But in fairness to them, they gave it everything they had. They just weren't at the races, and we kind of did a little bit of experimenting with things as well. We started with probably one of our strongest packs of the year. Rob Kelly, young Donald Keeley got his second start in first rugby. Conan Dunn, Tyg Butler, Jay Callbeck, Johnny Young, Gary Dunn and Doc. Doc started his first game, I think, since November, because he's been out sick, and he had a stormer as well. In the back line, we had Steve Atkinson, Wes Carter at out half again for his third consecutive game. So fair play to Wes for filling that gap. Cian Butler on one wing, Rob Boyd on the other wing, Joey Manuel and Henry Tennyson in the second. Henry was making his first start for the first as well, and Willie Seal full back. But look, I believe that if we had our out and out first 15 on the pitch, we probably could have put another 40 points on the fact of it, So, but as I said, it wasn't easy for them, and much respect to Longford for coming down and given what they had, the season that they've had. They gave their best shot, and best of luck to them now as they regroup and try and get themselves back up into 1B in a couple of years' time. Our women had a big win in the cup on Friday night. They beat Wanderers 38-5 in Foogstown, and then very entertaining game by all accounts. I wasn't there, but a very entertaining game. It's great to see the women getting themselves back to winning ways. They've had a tough season. But look at that will stand to them. Our under-14s lost in the cup away to Mullingar, and our under-15 boys lost to Wexford in the cup as well. And they obviously under-15s lost the previous week, lost the John Byrne Cup final to Wexford also. That's one that we really wanted to try and get back into the club, but look, sadly it didn't. Just back to the first game, Joe Manuel was back in the centre. He's been playing back row all year, and he was back in the centre. And have to say he had an absolute storming game. I think he scored 2 tries, which now makes him the top try scorer for the year. I guess that's not bad for a guy at 37, knocking 38, to be doing what he's doing. And it's great to see Joe. He's enjoying his rugby in a way that I've never seen him before, having played with him for nearly 20 years. 5, 6, 7 years ago, there was a bit of trouble on the pitch. Joe was the first man in. now he's probably mellowed a little bit now. He's probably the first man standing back laughing at everything that's going on. So he's really enjoying his rugby. Look ahead to this weekend. The under-18s are away, are home to Tullamore in the Cup, and the under-16s are away to Navan. So they're going to be two tough games for both travelling for both teams. But it's great to see the under-16s. They're competing, and they're also in the semi-final of the Premier League as well, which is very good. Have been missing a couple of players on and off, but look at that. That's youth rugby. Looking forward to the weekend with North Kildare away. Probably an unpredictable game. The last time we played North Kildare in the Cup was also away to North Kildare. I was playing myself the same day, and we actually lost. They beat us in Kilcock. But we don't know what to expect from them. You're always going to get a tough game of rugby against North Kildare. That's one thing you're guaranteed. But look, we'll go up there. We'll give it the best account of it as we can. It's not a good day for around the cup matches to be played, to be fair, particularly for away teams. I think, to play it on St. Patrick's Day, which is traditionally a family day, is probably needs a little bit of looking at. But however, that's the way it is. To mention, we've also been appointed in Kilkenny where we're hosting the Munster Leinster in the Junior Inter-Provincial Championship in April. So we're going to be pushing that a lot more over the next few weeks to make sure that we get a big crowd around. I believe there's going to be, from speaking to some of the selection committee for the juniors, there's going to be a good local influence from these three teams in the Leinster junior squad. I think the squad is close to being finalised, so it'd be great to get the support of our three clubs to come to Kilkenny that day and support our players who are representing our clubs on the junior squad. Just on a sad note, I suppose we've had a difficult couple of weeks in the club. One of our past captains, James Coady, was buried yesterday. Tragic end for a guy who I just think it's important to speak about him for a minute. I met Paddy yesterday at the funeral, and I couldn't bring myself to chat Paddy, so apologies for that. But it's been a very tough couple of weeks for everyone in the club who knew James. He joined us in 2007 from Trinity after playing 2 years Irish under-21s and 2 years Irish schools, where he won an Irish schools Grand Slam. Spent a couple of years in the Leinster Academy, and probably decided that he had enough of it, that he had enough of elite rugby. And someone from Kilkenny made a phone call and see if he'd come down and play for us, because he's only from Borris. And next thing we knew it, he was in doing pre-season with us. And
now we're just having audio issues there with James Blanchfield. James, can you hear us?
I can hear you, yeah.
Oh, there we are. Sorry, James, we're talking about James Coady.
Yeah, no, so look, James was just one of those players who just left an indelible mark on the club. His brother spoke in his eulogy yesterday about his ability to lead people, his ability to bring people around him on a journey. And by God, he could do that on the pitch and off the pitch. He taught us all in Kilkenny how to raise the bar rugby-wise, but also taught us all how to enjoy ourselves as well. So on behalf of the club, we just want to send our best wishes and our deepest sympathies to the Devan and Coady families, and just let them know that the club is always here if ever you want to come out. And I know his uncle Kevin is a stalwart at Fuchstown, but if anyone else wants to come out and just get involved and just be in the club and might get a good memory of James or a good story, that you're always welcome out there.
Okay, lovely tribute, James. Sadly missed, and a big shock to everyone as well. I know it's well talked about in rugby circles and further afield around as well. Tom or Paddy, do you want to add anything to that?
Yes, I met James at the funeral yesterday, and I'd be very friendly with the Coady family. It's a very, very sad day, and Kilkenny did a guard of honour outside the church as well, which was a lovely touch, and a hugely sad occasion. Can I just add, and Tom will want to do this too, that we lost another stalwart in Tullow / Carlow with Willie Purcell, who was a huge supporter of Tullow all his life, and his sons all played with Carlow. So Willie was buried last Tuesday, and a great character in local rugby, both in Tullow and in Carlow. So joint condolences there, Stephen.
Absolutely, yeah. Willie is a big loss for the family. Is a big man and a big character, and another one gone.
Yep.
I have to say, on a more joyous note, we better congratulate our Joe Schmidt, Mr. Tobin, on the college getting through to the college's final. They won their semi-final. Carlow won their semi-final. There's a few from Tullow and a few from Carlow playing on that, and they're a good side actually. Watch the game. They're a solid side, but they're playing DCU, and Ben is actually playing for fullback for DCU.
Oh, right.
Again, last year, Carlow got the spoils, so I'd be kind of in two minds there. I can't lose really because Carlow win. Carlow win, it's good, and if DCU win, I have a happy young fella. So, but I look fair. We have to mention Johnny. He's a legend in his own time. I don't know whether he's the luckiest coach around, but he seems to do well. And I have to say there was great crack over in the college. The lads, the atmosphere that was over there was superb. So they all had a few jars. I watched the women's game afterwards. They weren't as lucky. Commiserations to them. They weren't as lucky. They lost to a very sharp UCD side. But the lads were celebrating behind me and singing and chanting, and so it was a good old evening's rugby. And fair dues to Johnny and the SCTU. It's a fine facility, and that's great for me to be able to walk across the road that time and watch a couple of games when you'd be bored. Just want to get out of the house. not that my wife says I don't get enough rugby anyway.
Absolutely.
might have to go for a walk with the dog.
4-hour round trip.
Just on one other note, the last day I brought up a topic around the money floating around junior rugby. You wouldn't believe the amount of messages and phone calls and text messages I've gotten about it with people agreeing with the discussion we had. I won't go into it now, but people feel very strongly about it.
Well, there was a little club who wasn't very happy.
I don't care.
Well, we can't keep everyone happy on the podcast, Tom.
Oh, God, yeah.
There are issues, and the ones we have to bring up, I suppose, and chat about.
Well, sure. Look, if we were straightforward, that'd be a very boring podcast, wouldn't it?
Absolutely.
That's it, yeah.
So wouldn't be us if there wasn't a bit of controversy somewhere.
We'd never have. I don't know.
I like to bring a bit of controversy at least once a year.
Yeah.
No better man, James. No better man.
I'm trying to avoid it because the last time you got me in trouble, James, I nearly got boxed in the club. So I sort of watch me P's and Q's. I have to kind of think forward to what I'm saying, but then
I don't mind, Tom. Everyone knows I'm a big mouth.
You don't say.
That's why I started watching rugby matches behind the goal now instead of the sideline, so I can stay out of trouble.
Well, we have an angel in the corner there, Paddy. Never say anything.
Oh, very quiet, Tom, as you know. See you next year, Tom.
Never the politician down there.
That's right.
No.
Tensions will be high now in Division 1A next year. The Carlow Cup will be up a notch or two.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's it, lads. Well, come here. The best of luck
thanks.
With your games this weekend. The Towns Cup rugby. Hopefully, Carlow have recovered in time anyway to hit the ground running at the weekend. Best of luck as well, Tullow and Kilkenny, of course.
Thank you.
Thanks, Stephen.
We'll talk to you next week, lads, and see how he's got on.
Perfect.
Okay, thank you.
See you, lads.
Mind yourselves. A great weekend.
Same here.